GA325 Week 7 Presentation Part 3. Publication Design Portfolios. Graphic artists may go in various directions as far as career and portfolio. Designers may be package designers, product designers, illustrators, pre-press experts, or advertising agency artists. Designers may have more than one portfolio depending on the desired job. If publication design is the focus of the portfolio, then the artwork contained inside should reflect solid professional spreads. However, as you go through your career, you're going to have different opportunities and work on different projects. It's also good to have a general portfolio, and actually that would be a great type of portfolio for you to have going out of school and going into your career for the first time, because you want a portfolio that is diverse in content and type so that you can demonstrate that you have learned all these skills in college and are ready to start an entry-level position to be able to better those skills and work on various types of projects. Publication portfolios should include: a good publication design portfolio should contain at least 4 to 6 types of publications. Definitely magazine spreads, newspaper and newsletter spreads as well, maybe even magazine covers, book covers. Possible supplemental pieces could be annual reports, catalog pages, or a series of different brochures. One spread would not be sufficient enough to reveal whether or not a graphic artist can create consistent unified pieces or spreads over an article or selection. 3 to 5 2-page spreads are substantial, and it really demonstrates your skills. And what employers are looking for is how you marry type and imagery together in a unified way that is attractive and appealing and still follows good design choices. Two-page spreads can be printed on 11 by 17 tabloid sheets with landscape orientation. It is not necessary to show examples printed on both sides. For best color reproduction, print from Adobe InDesign or Quark Express. Avoid doing layout in Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop. Although these programs have features that allow you to do this, they are not the best suited for multi-page production. Do not print from Photoshop, although it does have powerful print abilities for artists. Text and vector images are best suited for InDesign printing and display so that you can get the best quality print out of your projects in order to display them in the best way. Print software. Multi-page documents should be handled in their later stages by software applications, specially designed to layout and print publication. Adobe InDesign, Quark Express are 2 most popular programs in use today for printing multiple pages. Quark can be a little more difficult to work with because it is designed by a different company than Illustrator and Photoshop, but these applications are completely compatible with each other. Adobe Illustrator can be used to create vector images to bring into InDesign or Quark. Photoshop, of course, is great for photograph editing, but do not import other elements into Photoshop. Even at the high resolution, some rasterization will occur and cause some damage. In most real-world settings, final design work is print-ready and is done in InDesign. When sending samples of print production work digitally, it is a good idea to save the InDesign page spreads as PDF files. These are relatively small in size or can be reduced, and almost anyone with a computer can open the artwork in Adobe Acrobat or Acrobat Reader to be able to actually see them. PDFs can be saved as multi-page documents so that the viewer can see all the spreads together all in one place. Steps in publication design. Publication design, while exciting, can be overwhelming when it comes to solving all the issues mentioned here. It is best to keep things together by working in steps. The design brief is a written plan of attack done before any thumbnails or roughs to clarify objectives and create a direction to go in. After the brief is developed, rough thumbnails of the spreads with some sequencing and pacing notes is the logical next step. Designers normally do this by hand in order to save time. Once these are created, then the gathering of elements can occur. Many print jobs will have all the imagery and content already together on a CD or printed out in a rough form. Once the graphic artist has the necessary components, then the next task is to begin to size and proportion the content, decide what will fill or fit where, and start the actual layout work. A huge chunk of time will be spent arranging and sizing all the elements and deciding what will go on what page. If working on a newspaper or newsletter, the page where content will go may already be determined. The designer just has to make it fit and look aesthetically pleasing. The layout is done in InDesign and images are brought from Photoshop and Illustrator and then put into as placeholders. The final step is to proof the work and prepare it for final print production. The art director and/or client will be interacting with the designer during these steps to ensure the product is to their liking. Corporate publication design is a field that continues to have a high demand for graphic artists. Some work is done by freelancers, but most major print houses have full-time in-house staff. Magazines and newspapers have regular staff members, and even though annual reports are done once a year, there is so much work involved in creating them on time that many designers can do this often enough to support themselves. One last word about portfolios. There are two ways to go with your portfolio. One is to create a special portfolio for your publication designs. If you have a large enough body of work, you can have several portfolios, and each for a specific job or interview. And you could pick and choose what designs to put in that portfolio depending on the type of company. The other method is to combine your publication printouts with your overall portfolio that can be used for a variety of different types of job interviews. Having a print portfolio is a good idea even in this day and age because you want to be able to have various formats of a portfolio, a print, an online, a PDF, and so forth. This concludes Lecture 7.